Is this recording?
Keep it in.
Listen, I can edit. This will probably not even make it.
Aw, it would be funny though.
Yeah, you know.
Bloopers.
I'll just do like a gag reel later on, you know.
Oh yes, that'd be awesome.
I am ready to start this. So
I mean, we started a couple of seconds ago.
we did.
We just started it's like bullshit
First
right now.
podcast, everyone. This is already going well, right? Welcome everyone to Review O Meter. I am your host, Peter. That rhymed, so that means this works. This is gonna go well, right, Cesar?
Yes, absolutely, Peter.
Yes. How are you doing, Cesar? How's your day going?
I'm doing good. Can't complain. Just at home, doing nothing. You know, waiting for it to do the show. Yeah.
Well, Cesar, we have a special episode today because it's our first one. So there's nothing to compare it to. So this can only go good. Exactly.
What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah. And just to explain to everyone listening in what this little show is, it is our Review-O-Meter show. Every month, we will pick a certain theme, and at random, that theme will be picked, and a certain title in that theme would be watched, and we will be reviewing it. Why do I sound like a robot? That is a good question. Cesar, do you understand the content of this game?
Yes,
of this show,
I do.
Of
Yes.
this journey we are about to embark.
I do, Peter, and I hope the audience will enjoy this journey with us.
Beep boop, beep beep boop bop, beep beep bop. Beep boop bop. Okay, so just to give a little introduction to what this podcast is actually really about. When I was in college, one of my college courses actually required this assignment where I had to create a certain, it was a content creation assignment. And the certain content had to be a certain theme. It had to have a certain amount of episodes, whether it be podcasts or YouTube series or whatever the case may be. It was something in the media form of entertainment that you had to create a series of. A lot of people in my class did podcasts. I was thinking that was probably just too original. It's not a bad idea. And here we are making our podcasts right here, right now. And what I did was what I called Review-O-Meter. And if you go to my YouTube channel at PJM Entertainment, there's a lot of things. No, there's not. There's not a lot of things right now. There's a beautiful Christmas movie. Go watch that. A Christmas jingle. A recent instant classic. Yes, it is.
Amazing. It's amazing. No, I'm not just saying that, but it really, you guys need to check that out. Go check out his channel. He does amazing work. He's being humble right now, but let's be honest, right, Kevin? He does amazing work.
And by the way, we have Kevin here, as I was gonna introduce him later. Hi, Kevin. How are you doing?
Hi guys, great to be here. I'm doing good.
That's good.
And yes,
to hear.
it was a great Christmas
And
movie.
your time is up. Thank you, Kevin, for those beautiful words to my film.
Good answer.
Anyways,
good answer.
On my YouTube channel, if you scroll towards the bottom, you will see those remaining episodes of Review-O-Meter, and that was basically just a series of former but recent Disney Channel shows that have come out in the past, at the time, I guess, 5 years. I know I started with Girl Meets World, and a lot of those shows I haven't seen. I only really wanted to do that series because I actually was interested in Girl Meets World and was honestly a little sad of its cancellation announcement at that time. It's a great show, honestly. I mean, I do love Boy Meets World, so I just felt like I wanted to review other Disney Channel shows that had to air along with that and judge whether that was actually a deserved cancellation or not. And spoiler alert, it wasn't. However, in the end, there was a really good show called Andy Mack. I know, weird to say. Take my word for it. That is a very high bar. Anyways, we're turning this show into a podcast, and instead of just kind of reviewing on a scale from what percentage I rate the content at, that's kind of what I did in the YouTube series. This time, we're turning the Review-O-Meter scale into a certain ranking of every month. We're going to rank each of the new contents we see, which one we like least to best. Obviously, today, we're just going to have one title on that scale. We, to this moment, do not know what that title will be. Right, Cesar?
Yes, we do have no idea. This is completely random. This is not planned. We are literally going at the fly right now. We're completely winging it.
Yes. So that being said, we are only going to be strictly to Disney Plus just because as a starter, it would help us actually share whatever we're going to watch at the same time here via our own computers and such. Disney Plus it is. I feel like I have a better comfort level with Disney Plus rather than maybe Netflix or any other streaming service. Because if we were to say pick anything at random on those streaming services, there's a good percentage that I would really not care for what we watch. That could still happen today. We could still land on a National Geographic documentary, and that would be the most irritating, but maybe inspiring. I don't know. It could actually be enjoyable. And that's kind of what I'm hoping for. Maybe we would actually see something we never would have seen before and enjoy it. That or we straight up hate it. Right, Cesar?
Yes, we will see what happens. Let the lazy river takes you where it takes you.
Yes, it will. Just like this podcast.
Exactly.
There's nothing planned, nothing in my words, no script or anything. I'm just going for it.
Exactly. That's how you do it.
The theme of the month will be chosen between regular Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and Fox/National Geographic. As a bonus, I've also included anything Disney Plus, a wild card, you could say. Each one of those title cards are featured on the Disney Plus app. That is how I usually will probably do this. I may include more, even in suggestions that you can add. I would love to do all sorts of themes, whether it's from Netflix, any streaming service, maybe even YouTube series. I don't know. This can literally go on for infinity. Cesar, Kevin, which one are you hoping that the randomizer will land on?
I kind of want to do like Pixar, because Pixar usually has like my favorite Disney movies. So I'm down for anything, but if I had to pick one particular, Pixar would be the one I had to go with.
I am hoping for Marvel, but maybe like a really old Marvel movie.
Ooh.
Okay, how old? We're talking X-Men, Raimi's Spider-Man, even though that's not on Disney Plus, so forget with that.
Ooh, maybe X-Men, but I haven't seen that in a while, so.
I've been recently trying to binge the X-Men. They're not all on Disney Plus at this moment, so I've only seen the first 2 movies.
Which you should probably stop at.
I saw WandaVision. That means I saw X-Men.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So I think at this time, it's time to randomize our choices here for the theme.
Ooh, here we go.
All right.
No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Big money, big money, big money, big money, big money, big money. No whammies, no whammies. Big money, big money.
And the winner is Star Wars. This
All right.
is actually exciting. I don't know what is on Disney Plus of Star Wars that I really would dislike. It's all pretty good. There's a range from all the movies, TV shows, animated series, Mandalorian, and a lot of the Lego films, even some short stuff with animation. Now they recently added the collection with the Ewok movies. This could be exciting. We could either see something new, something very much familiar by the public eye. Maybe we'd just be surprised in general. We never know.
Yeah, because I've only seen the movies. I haven't seen anything else in the Star Wars category. I haven't really even seen.
Really?
So,
Are you
yeah,
not a big
but
Star Wars person?
I am, but the thing is, I only like their movies. But I haven't seen like their series, like the Clone Wars series. I know about that, but I only seen like I think it was 2009 when that movie came out. That was the only time I saw like the Clone Wars series. But after that, I only stick to like live action Star Wars. I don't know why that happened, but I don't know. I probably was missing out on something, but you know, life happens.
That's inspiring.
Thank you.
What about you, Kevin?
I have seen almost everything other than the Clone Wars series. I have
Really?
yet
You've
to
never
get back
seen
into
any
it.
Clone Wars?
I have seen it back when it was like fresh,
Yeah.
but ever since they brought it back to like Disney Plus, even that new last season, I have not seen any of it. So
But you've seen Rebels, right? I thought you said you
yes,
saw Rebels
yes,
before.
I have seen Rebels, which was really good. Anything else in shorts? Yeah, I've seen Mandalorian, of course. All the movies. Yeah, I think it's just the Clone Wars series.
Very nice, very nice. And it's time to randomize our Star Wars content to see which title we will be reviewing today.
No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Big money, big money, big money, big money.
And the winner is the Caravan of Courage. Caravan? Is that one of the Ewok things, or is that?
Is it? Caravan.
I think it might be.
Ah, it is!
It
Oh
is
my
one
god,
of
it
the-
is! It is!
Oh, wait a minute.
It's gonna be good.
I think I was actually watching this one particular not too long ago.
How long
And-
ago?
Ooh, just like when it came out. So
1984?
2 weeks ago?
Oh.
No. When it was released on Disney Plus, not when it
Oh,
came
okay.
out in 19. Is that when it was? 1984?
Yeah, I was like, damn, were you like
Wow.
negative 12?
Yeah, we're looking at an hour and 36 minutes. That's how
Not
long
bad,
this is
not
going to be.
bad.
So what do we know of this actually? Caesar, you want to
Okay.
go ahead and read the description?
Yeah, it's after I might butcher these names.
I think it's Sindel.
Sindel and Macy are separated from their parents. courageous Ewoks aid and reunite them. I am professional. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I thought it was actually very interesting. It definitely felt like old Star Wars. Wicket the Ewok, played by Warwick Davis, is in it, and he's the same Ewok that Leia met in Return of the Jedi, who took her to the Ewok camp, and they befriended the whole group through her.
Sounds interesting. Can't wait to watch it.
It sounds like it was probably rigged. I promise you it wasn't, just because like my handle name's usually with Ewok in it. I love my Ewoks. I promise you I haven't even seen the ending of this. I either couldn't finish it or I might have actually fallen asleep because I just played it as background noise. So I have a vague memory of really what happened so much in it, but I know it has like a little young girl who kind of reminds me of Shirley Temple, and her brother are lost in the forest moon of Endor. And then they meet the Ewoks. That's pretty much all I really have to remember before I get into spoilers. So I'm actually kind of excited for you guys to also see this too.
Yeah, should be a good movie. Should be cute.
And on that note, I think it's time that we watch this movie and we come back after these messages.
The challenges caused by the galactic pandemic have affected our jobs, our lives, and our relationships. But think of the relationships we've grown closer in during these struggling times.
I couldn't have survived these lockdowns without RO4. His company throughout this time kept me from falling into depression because I wasn't alone. I'm back working in the office, and I just know now that's how RO4 must be feeling.
Our droids shouldn't have to resume to the discomfort of being alone. Thanks to the St. Wicket Ewok Rescue Organization, they don't have to be.
Holy shit, what is that thing? Looks like a grizzly had sex with an orangutan or something. I don't know.
Never again will you have to leave your bucket of bolts alone indoors. In fact, our friends from Endor do endure living indoors.
Hey, get down from there. No, don't touch that. You're a jittery little thing, aren't you? Where did you even get spear from?
Give your droid a gift and adopt an Ewok today. They'll be happy, and so will you.
No, I will not take it for an Ewok. And stop it with the Star Wars puns. No. Someone please help. I didn't agree to this endorsement.
The St. Wicket Ewok Rescue Organization, located at hyperspace coordinates 93244A.
And we are back from our viewing of what the heck was it we just saw again?
Caravan of Courage and Ewok Adventure. That was
Ewok Adventure.
Yes, sir. It really was an Ewok Adventure.
That was an adventure.
Okay. Before we get into like spoilers and such and specific details, I want to know what your preconceptions versus your post-conceptions. Kevin, why don't you go first?
Well, I was expecting just a nice, cute little movie about the Ewoks.
Which, in fairness,
Yeah,
we
just,
did get.
Yeah, so yeah,
That's
it
true.
was. I was expecting to be that long. To be honest,
Yeah,
I expected to be a little bit shorter.
I agree.
I do agree.
Yeah, but it was good because in terms of like their adventure, which was most of it, about the journey, not the destination.
Yeah, so I actually just recently looked up this movie on IMDb, and it was released as a TV movie in 1984. Most likely on CBS, because that is also where the Star Wars Holiday Special premiered back in
I think it was ABC.
late 70s.
It was ABC.
Was it?
Yeah, it was ABC.
Okay, so I guess during Return of the Jedi, ABC was able to snag that money. Okay. So obviously I can predict that this takes place maybe right after Return of the Jedi, right? I just don't think it's anytime before. I'm pretty sure even with the release date, they make it clear that this is after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that leaves me to think, how long ago before or after, or maybe even is this during The Mandalorian?
I want to say it's a little bit before, maybe.
Just before? So you think
Yeah.
right as the rebellion leaves the Forest Moon of Endor, the Ewoks just now happen to find these random people, these children crash shipped on this planet?
Why not? Because like I mean, if this happened like before, was it Return of the Jedi?
Yeah.
If like it happened like before that, then like when they crashed, then the Empire would have found them instead of the Ewoks.
That is true. Yeah. Plus, that would make these the first humans the Ewoks would have seen, not Leia.
Yeah.
Unless the Ewoks have seen anyone in the Empire running around their forest, then I don't know. Okay, since we were talking about The Mandalorian, one thing that makes me think is, since this is a journey of reuniting children with parents, who makes better parents, Mandalorians or Ewoks?
Oh, I don't know. I might have to say Ewoks because Mandalorian sort of
They're both war criminals.
That's true.
The Ewoks defeated the Empire of the entire Star Wars saga, the original saga.
Oh, easy Ewoks. They have obviously the best parents right there.
Yeah. Another difference.
They are.
Like, I want to hug Ewoks instead of like hugging the Mandalorian. So that's another difference, at least for me.
Hey, a lot of people want to hug Mando
Yeah.
and Boba Fett.
True.
I always defended the Ewoks. I know there's this like running joke of them being the cute, cuddly teddy bears, and they are, but people didn't really like how childish they made Return of the Jedi. I disagree with that part, with it being a childish thing. Okay, to a degree it is, but the Ewoks are vicious. They're murderers. They're savages. They literally pierced all those stormtroopers with their spears, and they smushed them with the 2 logs, and they really knew how to murder.
Yeah, they're savages. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty resourceful savages, too. If you saw, like, at the beginning, their little glider and everything, so.
Yeah, I think that's just to sell the toys.
Oh, yeah, for a fact. Which also, I kind of think this TV movie was sort of for.
Caesar, how about you? Preconceptions versus postconceptions.
Like Kevin said, I had the same thing going in that I was like, oh, it was going to be a cute movie about Ewoks. But wasn't I completely wrong? Because I had no idea it was going to be like Ewoks basically raising 2 kids, but those 2 kids are trying to find their parents. So it's like a little child daycare / it's going on an adventure type thing. And that was really good. It was a really good movie. It kind of blew my expectations of it because I did not expect it to be like interesting. Cause I thought when I first going in, I thought it was like, let's see what happens. Looks cute, but at the end of the day, I was like, caught my attention, especially some of the scenes that happened.
So you're saying it exceeded your expectations a little bit?
It did, yes.
That's interesting. So like I said earlier, I know at least the first half of this movie, and even just that first half, I was kind of in and out with it. I was probably either multitasking or it was late at night, and I know I definitely fell asleep just after the boy was drowning in the water, which we'll talk about in a second. So the whole climax and all, I basically felt like I was watching this entire thing for the first time. And overall, I do really like this. I love the Ewoks. They have a special place in my heart. I will admit that this story drags a little too much in many spots, and I also admit that this did not need to be an hour and a half of a movie. And when this came out in 1984, oh my God, can you imagine having commercial breaks in between? This would be long.
Yeah, like like what, 97 minutes, and like commercials probably like 2 hours. Yeah,
basically. But hey, when you're a kid and Star Wars is still like the biggest new thing, this is what you want. Even when the terrible Star Wars holiday special, well, terrible, but still silly and honestly a masterpiece of its kind, it was still very much enjoyed by many children, and they were all very much excited for it, and they just let their excitement get the better of them and think it was an amazing piece of work. Maybe some people might disagree, but I think that there is charm in that because of how awful it is that George Lucas himself has been trying to bury that special for so long.
Is that special on Disney Plus?
It is not.
Oh,
so there is the Lego Star Wars holiday special that was released just this past year, and they make callbacks to the holiday special, the original one, because it's about Chewie's family. It's about Life Day, a Wookiee holiday. Han, Luke, and Leia are coming over to Chewie's house, and you meet Chewie's grandfather, whatever, who watches porn in VR. No joke,
what?
That happens.
What?
Yes. No, you have to see this thing. It's really weird.
All right, I'll wait till Christmas to see it though.
It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube? Okay.
Yeah. It's much more of it drags even more than this. So that actually is split up in many pieces that has it goes into cartoon parts, and it actually introduces Boba Fett for the first time. But there's weird cartoon animated feature sections, and it also starts with just regular, like Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher. They're all in it. This was right after A New Hope came out. Well, just Star Wars back then. But it was right after that, so kids just needed more Star Wars in their lives because that was like the biggest thing at the time. They had no empire. They did not know Darth Vader was Luke's father. Nothing of that. All they had for a sequel was the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Yeah, I gotta watch this now.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so have you recognized anyone in this little movie, like celebrity-wise?
Well, I did recognize the narrator.
Yes.
When I first heard it, I was like, that voice sounds familiar. I was like, I feel like I heard that in something, and I found out it was Burt Ives.
Yes,
He
it
was,
is.
yeah, he was the snowman and Rudolph. Yeah. I was just like, huh. Oh, all right, good for him.
Yeah, in the original 1960s Rudolph film. That was definitely something I caught right when I first heard his voice. I didn't know it was Rudolph. I knew it was familiar, so that's what pulled up IMDb. And of course, from there, I looked up everything else. I mentioned before that the little girl reminded me of Shirley Temple, maybe just because of her look, even though she's absolutely the most 80s thing in this whole movie with the headband and the curly hair.
Definitely, yeah.
I think she's not the same actress.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
But I think she looks and acts almost identical to Jodie Sweetin as Stephanie in the first season of Full House. Have either of you seen Full House?
I have. I caught a couple episodes, yes.
Can you agree with that? I mean, I think it's almost identical. So
yeah, I can see that.
Yes.
Okay. And her name was Cecil.
Sydney.
Was it Sydney?
Sindel.
Sindel. I think it was like Sindel.
Sindel.
We could be wrong.
Sindel.
We could easily just look this up, but
yeah,
meh.
Sindel.
And the brother character was Mace.
Yes, Mace.
Yeah,
he was a little arrogant, I think, because I know in the one scene where we met the first Ewok, and he was like, "Oh, you want?" He just like threw the axe. I was like, "Wow, he's kind of arrogant." Yeah, he's like, "You want to mess with me?" He's like singing his chest out. I was like, "Bro, he could, that thing could kill you. He's an Ewok. He looks furry and cute, but he could probably chop your head off. Like, you better be careful."
He actually kind of reminds me of a younger version of Mark Hamill.
That is exactly what I was gonna say.
Yes, I can see that. Definitely accurate.
Oh, but the flight suit did not help.
Oh no, he just
made him look
exactly
more
like the X-Wing pilot Rebellion Luke looked like in A New Hope.
Yeah.
That might have been intentional.
Probably, yeah.
I think this family, the parents at least, probably fought in the rebellion.
I
don't think this is canon though. I don't think this is canon. So, there was a moment in the movie where the boy yelled at one of the Ewoks after almost dying because that Ewok chopped down a tree. And he said,
"You better watch out! You nearly killed us!"
Totally acting like Mark Hamill, the way Luke yelled at Han in the trash compactor.
You forget it! I already tried it! It's magnetically sealed! Put that thing away! You're gonna get us all killed!
Oh, yeah.
I did like that. I noticed that Leprechaun, if you guys haven't seen a Leprechaun movie, the horror movie, I like that he was like one of the Ewoks. I like that.
Which Ewok?
He was Wicked.
Oh, Warwick Davis.
Yeah, exactly. Warwick Davis. Yeah.
Yeah, Warwick Davis. He's a very well-known actor.
I mean, I know him because
I know him
because of Leprechaun. Because that ridiculous horror movie franchise is amazing and great.
Kevin just said the other most popular franchise he was in.
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Oh my God.
He was Grip Hook, the Goblin in Gringotts Bank, and he was Professor Flitwick.
Get the nice wrist movement we've been practicing. The swish and flick. Good. Oh, and enunciate. Wingardium Leviosa.
I actually saw him both times at Universal during a Harry Potter celebration and Star Wars Weekends. In Star Wars Weekends, I was able to like get his attention during one of the motorcade parades, and I'd yell "Professor," and he like give me a little wave. So that was pretty cool.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And he plays Wicket, my favorite Ewok and all.
I loved how in the one scene where Mace was trying to save his parents, you see Wicket trying to entertain Sindel. That's like when something bad's happening, you have the one parent who's like trying to entertain the children.
Yeah, they had quite a connection too.
Yeah.
I really liked in the beginning of the movie when they find her in the starship. She's like trying to tell Wicket exactly how they ended up there, how the starship crash landed. I say starship, but she was saying Star Cruiser. Star Cruiser crashed, and Wicket mimics her going
Crashed? Star Cruiser. Crashed. Yeah, that's it.
Love it.
I really liked that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it was a cute little moment.
There are certain elements we've never seen in any Star Wars media before that they decide to play with. Before I get into the whole magical elements that we saw in this movie, I want to talk about the normal things like blasters. They used a blaster to start a campfire, and I just kind of noted that was kind of pretty cool.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah. You wouldn't
Yeah.
think, I would think that would happen.
I honestly thought when he said, "Oh, I'm gonna make a fire," that was just like, rub two sticks together or something. I forgot they were like technically in the future.
True. Forget about that. Yeah.
Not really the future.
Yeah. Oh my God, I never thought about that. It's true because it's a very long time ago. But it feels like, based on the movies, it feels like they're in the future.
Star Wars definitely has its sci-fi elements, but it's not sci-fi. It's fantasy. You got your pirate, your farmer, your princess, and it's just an adventure movie like that where you got ships, but instead of in the water, they're in space. That's all it is. It's fantasy.
Oh, that's true. Do you have like your bounty hunters?
So, I mean, of course, now they're expanding more on like Westerns and such with Mandalorian, samurai sort of movies. But overall, the main movies are fantasy.
That makes sense.
So I think I pretty much talked about the beginning of this movie, probably the first half, just finding the kids, because that's how much it drags in this movie.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
It really holds on certain moments. That kind of reminds me of in the former original Disney movies, like I'm talking Snow White, anything in the 30s and 40s. Those are based on fairy tales that are only just like 4 pages of like the Grimm brothers fairy tales. Snow White has like a whole scene that's 10 minutes long, 15 minutes long, I don't know, of just the dwarves washing their hands because Snow White makes them wash their hands before they eat dinner. Animators took time and time to animate that scene, but it helps the story reach an hour. That's basically this movie.
Yeah, sounds about right. Because you literally have like what, over like half an hour, just half 30 minutes, like focusing on the kids. They're just doing stuff. Let's go find my parents. Oh, now we're going on the adventure.
And I like that little the fanfare music.
Oh yeah, great score. Really great score.
I don't think it's John Williams. I don't think they had the budget to have John Williams do a TV movie.
But I did want to say, you said it wasn't John Williams. You were right. It was actually Peter Bernstein. That was the composer of this.
Oh, great name.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, Bernstein's a pretty great name. I agree. It's sort of its own character.
Yeah. And fun fact, he even composed in the next movie, which is Ewoks: The Battle of Endor.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know the order of these movies. I was pretty sure that this was maybe the first one when I first watched it because it was like the first listed. But there were also cartoon specials. I don't know if those are TV shows or if it's another like cartoon movie.
Yeah, I think it's another special also, the live action special.
There were more. There's more in this collection that's just more than just Ewoks. One was about the Millennium Falcon, I believe.
Oh, the story of the faithful Wookiee.
Oh yeah, that is another one. Nothing I've seen. Maybe we'll get that for the next podcast.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we'll find out later in this episode.
Oh, I did want to mention about the one scene with Mace and falling in the lake, and I can only imagine that scenario of like the actual actor, like just like freaking out, because I would hate to do that. It's like he was probably stuck under there like what for a good 20 seconds. Horrible. But even though I know it's probably like to like giving him a second to breathe, like different takes, but obviously that had to be a like traumatizing experience for him.
There were moments in this movie that honestly seemed like the budget was a little higher than maybe what Lucasfilm allowed it to be. But then other moments contradict that, and it's a little hard to watch. Some scenes are a little dated, but at the same time, I think, wow, how did they do this in 1984?
Especially the one scene in the cave with the spider. Oh my God, that spider is like literally nightmare fuel.
That spider attacking the back of Wicket as it was climbing on the cobwebs. I don't know if you thought that was a little silent of a scene, but it was just, I think that made it a little bit more creepy because you just hear like the music soft and the spider's just like tickling on its neck, but it's fully riding Wicket like a backpack. It was, ugh.
Yeah, the really unnecessary like close-up scenes, like this is a spider, but at the same time, in one scene you see its strings attached to the top of it. I love that scene.
Maybe Wicket ate some of the spider eggs, and that's why it's attacking them.
True.
Oh.
Like that could be a possibility.
I doubt it, because I think Wicket has better self-control than Mr. Grogu in The Mandalorian Season 2.
You never know.
Oh.
Wookiees are crazy. They're warriors. They do what they want.
Caesar, these are Ewoks.
My bad.
Yeah, the little Wookiees, not the big ones. Come on.
I went Ewoks.
Another thing I have noted was, of course, the sorcery, as you were talking about the water. Remember how everything they tried throwing at Mace in the water just kept vanishing because I guess the lake was enchanted?
Yeah, that I feel like they should like explain like, oh, what lake? What's this? Like, what was causing this? It's probably mentioned like probably either in the movies or in the novels. I was really interested to be like, what's the story of that lake? Like, how did it get like that?
At the time, I don't think any novels were published. Like, I know what you mean. There are like a lot of extended universe novels in the Star Wars, all decanonized until Disney makes them canon again, just like this movie. But yeah, I know what you mean, because never in the original trilogy, or specifically in Return of the Jedi, have we ever seen any sort of magic, especially on the Force Moon of Endor. That was definitely magic. An enchanted lake where Mace was trapped under, like the lake was frozen, but it wasn't. He was still just trapped until Wicket was able to pull him out with his magic staff, and that staff turned into a frog and a mouse earlier in that scene.
That's something else I wanted to mention. Literally all the animals in this movie made it like so much better, because even I didn't expect any animals. I thought it was just like Ewoks and that was it. I didn't expect like rabbits, and you see like chickens, llamas, possum, and like chickens. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it was just basic Earth animals out there in the Forest Moon of Endor.
Yeah, that threw me off. Which is like, oh, so we have Earth animals. A llama in a forest now?
Guys, that creature that had Mason, Sindel's parents, that thing freaked me out a little bit.
Oh, the Gorax.
Yes, the Gorax.
That reminded me of a mix between the Wampa in Hoth that captured Luke in Empire Strikes Back, and a mixture of the Rancor, the monster living in Jabba's palace in Return of the Jedi.
Totally can see it. Like if those two creatures had like a baby, this would be like the child.
It would be the Gorax. Yep. Also, how evil of a name does that sound?
Gorax.
That sounds like something you don't want to mess with.
I liked when the Gorax like lifted the cage that the parents were in. It shook it right in front of its face. I don't think you would have caught this. It reminded me of Confrontation.
I guess.
So King Kong in that ride lifts a cable car and kind of shakes it, which is your vehicle, and shakes it in front of his animatronic face, which is still similar to Skull Island, Reign of Kong, but he doesn't really hold on to the truck. He's just breathing on you. In Confrontation, he's actually holding your cable car. I've never ridden this. That's now where the mummy is today.
Oh, that was such a good ride when they had it. Yeah, that ride was like, you don't really see that often. Like, you're up above and like, above the city. You don't see that much.
They don't make that anymore.
Nope.
I will say Rise of the Resistance is probably one of the most technological advances of an attraction to recent date. Since we're on this topic of Star Wars, that one is more of like the all animatronics, maybe just slightly a few screens, but they work in a more of a necessary way rather than just cutting animatronics. That's probably where Confrontation would probably be more like.
I still need to write that. Every time I get the chance, when I get tickets, I never had the chance.
I like how sometimes your mic goes out a little bit, kind of sounding like a droid. like that.
Very unintentional.
It just happened. Also, it just occurred to me that this kid is named Mace, and he's definitely the first Mace, because the prequels came a whole decade after this. So Mace Windu obviously is older than this boy, since this boy's during Return of the Jedi times. Well, George Lucas himself probably named Mace Windu, Samuel L. Jackson's character, thinking about this boy from this movie.
Ooh, maybe.
Wow. Yeah, wow. That is wow. I did not think about that. More you know.
Yeah, that's probably not an important fact at all.
Yeah, exactly. Now, the audience, at least the audience knows about it now. At least they know, like, hey, Mace Windu, he's named by Mace. He was in the Ewok movie, Caravan of Courage. Yes, exactly, on ABC, right? 1985, 84.
There you go, 84. Wow, this is before Back to the Future came out.
Oh, true.
My favorite movie, I think. I always like saying that Back to the Future is my favorite movie. Star Wars is my favorite original trilogy. Well, the original trilogy is my favorite Star Wars trilogy of any trilogy. Can't talk today. This is going well, right?
Words are hard sometimes. It happens.
Words take effort.
Yeah.
I feel like because I almost said saga, I guess the MCU, that's already becoming like a whole other thing for saga. So I don't know if Star Wars can really top that.
That's a lot of saga though.
Yeah, so I would like to focus on the original trilogy when I think of trilogy for Star Wars. That would probably be my favorite trilogy. But Back to the Future, favorite movie. I don't know about you guys, but
you have 3 to pick from.
Yeah,
the first Back to the Future.
I like Jaws. That's my favorite.
Jaws. Yeah.
Classic.
I've only ridden that ride once. I'm so thankful.
Lucky.
It was in 2012, literally just before it closed.
Wow.
Now that's our beautiful Diagon Alley. So what'd you
Yeah.
guys overall think about this film?
I thought it was a good movie. It was good. It was worth the time. Even though kind of went on a little too long, but it was still a good watch.
It was good. I think it's a really good like family movie. Like if like since back then you're running off the hype of watching the first Star Wars, now you're watching this for like as a family.
I'll agree with you on that. I think that even though I said earlier it dragged on in certain moments, the moments it did drag on, there was still charm. I think that the Ewok characters definitely make this. I would love to see the script because we know Ewoks don't really speak English, except in this movie. Most of the talking was just the characters, the people.
Oh, and the narrator.
And the narrator. Okay, narration. Not always a good thing. Definitely made this more of a childish movie, the narration.
It did help.
It did. Yeah. It's
I
never bad to
suppose.
have narration. Never had, especially when half of the characters in your movie, don't really speak English.
I get it with maybe these Ewok costumes. I think they might have been a little under budget than Return of the Jedi, except for maybe Wicket. That's probably the same costume. One of the Ewoks totally looked pretty much like a Build-A-Bear, and it's the one that, spoiler alert, died. Because God knows we need to see more Ewoks dying in Star Wars.
Literally, I thought in the one scene with Gonda, when he saw one, did we just see an Ewok die? I was like, no. And if we literally just killed an Ewok, he just crushed it like nothing. I was like, no way. And I was like, okay, good. Nothing bad happened yet.
Yeah, you're talking about another scene, not the specific Ewok death I was talking about.
Yeah, that was like the actual death scene. The other one I mentioned was the one that like, oh, just kidding, he's not dead, and like he was hiding behind a rock.
Out.
Yes.
I liked how in that scene though, with the one that did die, Mace. I forgot which Ewok he was talking to. I think it was Wicket's father. When the Ewok kind of asked basically, hey, what's his name? The Ewok.
Yes, he's dead.
It's clearly like
God, can you please say that with more sincere?
Yeah.
He basically said that line like, get over it.
Yeah, it's like move on. He's gone now. Let's move on, go home and celebrate.
Yeah.
One of our kind is dead.
Yeah, even
That's
though
racist.
he like moments before, cried about it.
Even his father was racist.
What is that?
He's a friend.
Yeah, I was just like, you've never seen Ewok before? Like
They're not as technologically advanced as humans or any other creature because they don't have starships to leave the planet. So I will say that the other Ewok death in Return of the Jedi definitely is more of a tearjerker. Literally, the Ewok is like telling him to wake up as he's blasted during the fight.
I have to watch that movie. I haven't seen the Star Wars other than the most recent ones, like the originals. I haven't seen those in so long. Hopefully, you get the chance to rewatch them.
Oh, you should see it. I think my favorite movie of any Star Wars movie is Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, my favorite, I want to say, probably be one of the recent. I would say either the 9th or the 7th one. Probably this. No,
Ooh.
probably the 7th one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow. You would actually put Rise of Skywalker that far up.
Because I like the one, the ending. It was just, I don't know.
Ray Skywalker.
To be honest, these movies are great in their own way.
Yeah, I'll say I definitely liked, the prequels only because those are the first ones I saw, and then I, went and watched the older ones.
Yeah, the first one I saw was Revenge of the Sith in theaters. I've seen many scenes of the original trilogy, specifically A New Hope, before then. But what really introduced me to Star Wars to really say, I want to watch these movies, is the ride at Hollywood Studios, or at the time MGM Studios. I remember thinking that Star Wars was the wrong name, that the movies are supposed to be called Star Tours, just like the ride. I always thought that was weird, and the ride's honestly what makes me love Star Wars so much, and I guess I'm just realizing that. Well, maybe I'm not just realizing that, but it definitely is a big impact for why I love Star Wars.
Yeah, that ride's a classic.
And they've updated it in these past few years.
Yeah, I do like that ride.
Yeah, I mean, the beginning of the ride, you actually walk through the forest moon of Endors and you see the Ewok little huts in the trees. It's a very nice design. I love the trees in the forest of Endor. I love how the Ewoks live up in the trees. It's a nice little civilization. It's probably one of my favorite planets in all of Star Wars.
Because you don't really see much forest, mostly deserts.
That is true.
Yep.
Whole lot of sand.
I don't like sand.
They got covered most. I think we're towards the end, right? That's basically the end of the movie.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
Other than that, the Gorax died. The mom gave the final blow with the rifle. Well, no, it did creep back up the cliff, and then I one of the Ewoks threw the axe or something that the dying Ewok had. And then that was the final blow. But
Yeah, it was actually Mace that threw the axe. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, and then they came back home. Narrator talked about how love is the strongest thing in the universe, and there we go.
Yep, and they had another Yub Nub celebration moment. And instead of Force Ghost hating Christensen, we just see Ewoks having a good time. That's all we really needed in Revenge.
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi. Fun fact, it was going to be called Revenge of the Jedi before George Lucas changed his mind.
Revenge of the Jedi. Coming May 25th to a theater in your galaxy.
I wonder if that would have made the movie any different. What that title change, I mean.
If you remember Return of the Jedi, Luke is wearing all black, and there's this big fear that he actually might give in to the dark side because the fate of his father.
That's right.
That was actually kind of the reasons why he called it Revenge of the Jedi.
Did not know that. Oh my god, I totally forgot about that detail.
But aren't Jedis not supposed to practice revenge?
It's not the Jedi way.
Yeah.
Ooh, oh my god, that's another detail. Wow.
But that's always the thing. You were supposed to think that there was a chance that Luke was going to turn to the dark side because he had a very strong feeling and empathy to kill the Emperor, because that would have just turned him to the dark side, just like how Anakin did.
And just like how Rey was almost turned.
They could have done that much better.
Oh, I was going to say, are we going to ignore the fact that Palpatine just wanted to die for the past many years in these movies? He's always telling everybody to just strike him down.
I don't think it's necessary that he wants to die. He just knows that if they make that move, they will give in to the dark side, and he would just kind of counter that move somehow. In the Knights of the Old Republic video games, Bastila and Revan, Sith and Jedi, fall in love. They have a connection, just like Kylo and Rey with the Force. They have a connection. I just think they should have went with that route, how Bastila turned to the dark side, and Revan, who was a Sith, is a Jedi and stays on the light side because he never wants to see Bastila be evil again. I think that could have been better if Rey actually went evil. They had a good opportunity. They didn't take it. I still like the movie. In moments, I like the movie. I'm not one to really nitpick this new trilogy. I overall love them. I would just kind of counterfight whatever conversation I'm in. So if someone's saying they hate Rise of Skywalker, I tend to defend it. If people are talking like they really love it, I'm like, well, this is probably making me sound very pretentious. Very much an asshole.
You just want to play devil's advocate in a sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah, I understand too.
I feel like one of the reasons why I wanted to create this podcast is to just let out my critical mind, because I like to critique. Star Wars was always a special place in my heart. I will still see any new movie, any new TV show. I'm happy that we're doing Star Wars month. It's a great theme. I'm glad it landed on Star Wars. We have many things to cover. We have Mandalorian, lots of animated TV shows, even some documentaries.
But I also think what you're looking for is continuity, right? In terms of story and that consistency. They do one thing in the first movie, and then they change it up in the second one, and then they completely forgot what happened in the first one and third one.
I mean, they didn't really have all of the original trilogy written out. George Lucas chose other people to direct the other two movies.
Yeah.
I still think that they should have had a backbone for the new trilogy just to go off of, because yes, that was messy. They made the landing, but it was a rough landing. No one died on the plane, but they still made it home. And
okay.
Well, wait, that was both good positives. They made the landing, but the plane's in wreck. So everyone's alive, but the plane can't fly again. But the plane will fly again. We're gonna get more Star Wars content, and I'm here for it.
Unless you don't like it.
Right now, everything's going well. The Mandalorian's already much better than this new trilogy. The Force Awakens is still my favorite of the new trilogy. That I had no problems with it. But the Mandalorian absolutely is still the best.
So how do you feel about Solo? Remember that movie?
I like Solo the more I watch it.
Solo was good till the end.
What do you mean?
I like how it's it's about Solo. He's doing this. He's a bit of a criminal. It's oh yeah, we're just gonna go start a rebellion. Oh, okay, cool. You don't have to include the rebellion, but all right.
Yeah, I agree. We didn't need to see the Kessel Run, but that was cool. And since we have nothing else to talk about the current movie we just watched, since we're already talking about Star Wars in general, I say this is a good note to end this podcast. So, how would you boys like to rate this movie on a scale from everything we watched in the past, which is nothing since this is our premiere episode of Review-O-Meter? How would you still rate this movie? Kevin, go ahead.
Since it's our first movie, I would have to say 10 out of 10.
Nice. Cesar.
I would do 8 out of 10.
Okay, so it slipped back just a bit. I'm still in the middle. It's probably my favorite and least favorite of the movies we've covered in Review-O-Meter. Of course, again, the only one.
Yeah. So far, see what happens. Hopefully, it might go uphill, downhill, but you just gotta stay tuned.
Yeah, we can find out actually right now. Is there anything you would want to plug, Cesar?
The only thing I think of is listen to this podcast. Subscribe, rate, and review. We appreciate your support.
I appreciate that, even though you just glitched out. Kevin, is there anything you would like to plug?
I would say definitely subscribe. View. Tell your friends. Tell your family members. Tell even your dog, your cat.
Tell the mailman. So tell everyone you know.
Everyone
Random
you know.
strangers. Tell everyone.
And I would like to triple that recommendation to subscribe here. Keep listening to this podcast. And please follow me on Instagram if you would like, at Ewok Peter, because since my @name has always been Ewok for the past few years, and this channel is related to Ewoks, I might as well throw that Instagram handle out there. You'll find a lot of theme park content and just personal stuff of my Instagram. So on that note, I think it's time we randomize all of the Star Wars content we have on Disney Plus and see what we're going to review next time here on Review-O-Meter. Oh geez, what happened?
I got it. Wait.
There we go. Cesar, can you go ahead and tell me what we're gonna watch?
Star Wars Blitz.
Star Wars Blips. The featuring BB-8 one, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, I've seen nothing of that. At least I don't think I have. Have you guys?
No.
I have not.
Well, that's going to be exciting. So join us next time here at Review-O-Meter, where we will cover Star Wars Blips, 1-minute shorts featuring BB-8.
See you soon.
All right, Cesar, go ahead and play our theme music out. The ones we're creating right on the spot.
Oh.